Listen to people when they say they're lonely, especially when the holidays are coming. It's very important. Welcome to the Health and Fitness Show with Tracy. I'm Tracy Markley, and if you don't know who I am, I have been in the fitness and health industry for 30 years, and I'm the author of 15 books, balance, hearing loss, stroke recovery. I'm known in my work for stroke recovery and balance and working with walking and posture with seniors, but I've also been in the industry for 30 years, and I've had my yoga and Pilates studios, and I was Tracy's personal training for 30 years. Most of the time in California, 8 years in Oregon, and now I'm back in California. I was a radio show host of the Health and Fitness Show at KXCR radio station in Oregon for a few years, and then when I came back to California, I have now brought it to a podcast the last year or so. So here you go. The subject I want to talk about today, and if you've been following me or you're for a while, you know this is something every couple times a year I do a video on this subject. And we're approaching the holidays, so I thought it'd be another good time to bring it out. It is based on, honestly, my personal experiences. It is based on just being a human in the world, seeing people that are alone, that are struggling, that are grieving. Maybe they don't have a family. And people I've known in clients, and just being a human being and knowing that there are people out there that have a hard time. So one, if people are struggling and they ever tell you these words, I am lonely, I feel alone, my heart aches, I cry, or, the big thing, they tell you, I'm lonely. Loneliness does not mean someone is weak. You can be the strongest person in the world, but it doesn't mean you're lonely. It doesn't, you can be lonely. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. A lot of people hear these words and they'll say things like, oh my God, I would love to spend time alone. Or, oh, well, you need to love yourself so you don't feel so lonely. People can feel lonely in a crowd of people. People need people. We're humans. We're however you want to look at it spiritually, we're like a soul and a body on earth. And no matter where you come from or how spiritual you are, we do need human contacts and kindness and touches and hugs and people to be kind to you. And we all like and need a sense of belonging. And if you don't have family, it doesn't mean you made poor choices in your life. I know people like to judge that too. If you're single, you're not married, oh, there must be something wrong with you. Or what else do you hear? Oh, you haven't learned your lessons yet, so God hasn't brought you somebody. Oh, I think you're blocking the energy of attracting people. People like to throw these things at people that are alone. And maybe sometimes, maybe something could play a role in things, but a lot of times that is just adding heaviness, confusion, hurt, making the person feel worse when they're lonely. If somebody's lonely, they don't need you to fix them. They want to feel like they belong someplace. They want to feel like they're included somewhere because somebody wanted you to be there. Not because, oh, she's alone, we better invite her. Nobody wants to feel like that. So, and again, I'm saying this from, like I said, I've worked with the public forever. I did hair when I was younger, then I do fitness. So I've worked with people in the public. I've worked in the pediatric office for 10 years in between all of it. So I've seen hurts and loneliness and isolated people and abandoned people and hurt from every age and every angle. And then there's grieving and people lose people. There's just so much there. So I'm sharing this, like I always share when I talk about the subject, because it's very close to my heart, because I've been there. The holidays are hard. And I may have shared this last year about this time, but this is how holidays are for me approaching. Most of my family has passed away, or they're not part of my life. That's just what it is. Some people have family members that are alive, but they're not good people. They're not nice people. So you keep your distance. So you have that goes on as well. So when I'm going to throw this out there. So if you're trying to keep your life You don't want to be with bad people, but you can't just be at certain places to have people around you if it doesn't feel good, if they're unkind to you, if they don't want you there, or they're just really bad people. I mean, if someone stole money from you and did really horrible things, you don't even try to be with them. So I'm just saying there's so many dynamics that bring people to places to where they may be alone near the holidays. And you don't owe anybody your reasons why you feel lonely. If people, I mean, in psychology and if you talk to counselors about depression or grief, they all encourage you, or books or whatever, they always encourage people, reach out when you're feeling sad. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to people. And I don't know how many times that people literally do and people ignore them. I know that from my own experience. But I also know another situation. I'll share this story. Somebody I know who's older, she was telling me about her friend. She goes, oh my God, my friend always tells me she's lonely. It's like, because she's probably lonely. Why don't you invite her to lunch? I don't know, because sometimes she's just sad when I'm with her. Well, get her through that time. That's the thing. If somebody's sad or someone's lonely, if you're just like leaving them in the corner until they're in the place where you can handle them, because you think of handling things, or it's about you, or you think you're going to catch your sadness, I find that very selfish. I find that very hurtful, and you're actually giving someone a wound on top of a wound. I know a lot of people, this will make total sense to them. I think some people are sensitive, some people are insensitive, but usually the people that are real careless and insensitive, anyone that feels something, they think they're too sensitive, which is not the case. I just have to put that out there to help bring comfort to people going through things. And plus, if people listen to this, they might go, oh, you're right. So this is where I'm at during the holidays, being that I'm not married again right now, and my mom has died, my stepdad has died, my dad has died. Many friends have passed away. I don't have my sweet dog. I had my other dog, but he passed away as well, Riley. But I have the book, Rhyme and Riley, from him, but that I made of him. But anyway, when you have losses, or a lot of losses, you're also, the holidays and birthdays remind you of things. It doesn't mean you need to let go. It doesn't mean you're holding on to something. And I cannot stand that when someone says, oh, when you're healed and learn to let go. Okay, I will always miss my parents. It's still hard on me. I mean, I don't cry every day over it. But at first you do. You cry. You miss people when you lose people. They're part of your life. And I don't have any parent right now. And I find it hard. It's weird. They're not here on earth anymore. And they all affected my life in different dynamics. But this is how my holidays are approaching. So I just had my birthday. In 2 days is my stepfather's birthday. And then we have Thanksgiving. Then it's the anniversary of my dad's death. And then it's my mom's birthday. And then it's Christmas. And then it's New Year's. And it's the anniversary of my mom's death. And anything else in between of life that happened. That's a lot. That's a lot on my soul. It's a lot on my heart. And it's a lot on my brain. Because I have to navigate through everything differently. Plus, I want to always acknowledge their birthdays. I don't mean to remember the days they passed away, but it happens. It's part of it. And you think, oh, God, you passed away this day. And, oh, my God, it's been this long. And then you think, oh, my God, you've been gone 5 years. And, it's just a natural thing when somebody has lost somebody. And so it's a lot. And I have a hard time. And I know there's a lot of other people out there that have a hard time. And some people are barely just breathing to get through the holidays. You get up every day. You're in survival mode. You're in, I can get through one more minute. I can get through one more hour. I can get through one more day. And living in that is very hard on people. So be kind to people. Be nice to people. You don't know who you're passed on the street. You're taking a walk in your neighborhood or in the mall or the grocery store or somewhere when you're out in public doing something. You don't know what that person's going through. So don't be mean. Don't be unkind. Say hello. smile at someone when you pass them on the sidewalk. Acknowledge the humans around you, because your smile or your hello, good morning, or good afternoon to someone, you may be the only person in human contact they had that day. And you made them feel better. You made them feel acknowledged. If somebody's feeling lonely, hurt, abandoned, misplaced in the world, they don't have a sense of belonging anymore, and then you're out walking and you pass another human and they just act like they didn't even see you pass them, that could hurt. That hurts people. Some people may not affect them, some people may not care, but depending where someone's state of mind and heart is, that can just make them feel worse. And I know people who's been hurt, and the kind of stories that I share that I've been through, and the stories of people that I know that they've been through, they will totally get this. I think the people that cause the hurt in other people maybe don't get it. Maybe they don't want to get it. I don't know. I've always been the kind of person to try to better myself. If someone ever tells me, oh my God, you said this to me, it was so mean, it hurt my feelings, I would never say it again. And I've only had that happen once in my life. And I didn't mean to hurt her. There was a song on the radio that she would sing about herself. And it was kind of a put down, but kind of funny, but I thought she liked it. So I would sing it sometimes around her. And then finally one day she asked me to stop doing it. It was hurting her feelings. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know because you did it. And I always remembered that. And I never did that to her again or anybody else. A lot of people I don't think do that. I think they're careless. I don't know. Those kind of people confuse me. But the main purpose of this video is listen to people. If they are lonely, common sense sometimes, if you just put yourself a little bit to the side and think of someone beside yourself, you can probably think of, you know what? That friend, she lost her husband and her son. Her sister has cancer right now, maybe, or this is what she's going to. Let me check on her. Not pulling the, oh, I can't deal with it, I'm uncomfortable. Or, but she's so strong, she can handle it. Whatever mind things go on with people, I just wish more people would just be chill, simple, common sense. This person's lost her husband. This person just lost two parents, or this person's alone for some reason. Check on them. Don't make them beg you. Don't make them tell you 100 times they're lonely and then finally like, oh, you want to come do something? And you're like, okay, but then you feel like you trapped them into it or something. I don't know. It gets confusing to me. So be kind to people. I will share this because it broke my heart. And it shocked me. I don't know why I still get shocked after all these years. My dad used to always tell me when I was hurt or upset or just couldn't understand why people do stupid things or cruel things or unkind things. For years, since my 20s, my dad used to say, stop trying to figure people out. It's going to make you crazy. You don't always know why people do stuff. If you try to figure everybody out, you're going to make yourself crazy. So I have to remind myself of that. So a month or so ago, I was with my friend, and I told her, I go, I'm lonely right now. I'm lonely. And that made her say to me, oh my God, I would love to be alone. And I sat there and listened to her for 10 minutes. No hug, no concern, no text the next day to say, hey, are you doing okay? Nothing. She thinks loneliness means time alone. And that's not what loneliness is. People can be alone all the time and feel fine, but there's going to be times like, I'm a little lonely right now. Or you could be in a coffee shop with people and you just feel lonely. It's a part of life that people go through at certain times. And when people don't want to feel that way, they want to reach out. They hope to reach out and just have someone go, hey, well, let's just go to lunch, or hey, you want to go do this, or let me stop by and I don't know, something. You just do something. It doesn't take a lot to help people. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. So it did it bothered me a lot that day because I noticed that happens a lot with people. People have told me stories. I've heard people, like I was talking about that other woman I knew who would tell me, because I met her friend one day and her friend lost her husband. And I can't remember, maybe a year or two before. And she just looked at me and she told me she was lonely. And I just met her. And I felt for her. And so when I saw her friend the next time, I said, well, how is your friend doing? The last time I saw her, she said she was lonely. Have you checked on her? And she said this. Oh, God, sometimes she texts me twice a day. Or sometimes she'll start texting me and they'll go on for 20 minutes. Well, then pick up the phone and call her. People text because no one will call. So you text, they write back. It's like having a conversation, but when you're trying to have a conversation that would maybe take 3 minutes on the telephone, but you're trying to put it on a text, now it looks like a lot of words. And then you're, oh, this person wrote look at this. She wrote this whole paragraph to me. Yeah, because if she told you on a phone, it would be like 15 seconds. But when she has to put it in writing, it looks drawn out. It's like, I just want to tell people, grow up. Grow up. You know, if you don't pick up a phone and call people and they have something to say, their texts are going to look like long journal things. So pick up the telephone and call them. Because saying 3 sentences in person is a second or 2 or 3. Putting them in a text, it's longer and you could get words spelt wrong. Then you have to text, oh, sorry, no, I didn't mean that word. I mean, people get behind that texting so much. And then they'll just like give you a thumbs up in the middle of a conversation. And you're like, oh, I guess we're done talking. Instead of, hey, I gotta go to work, gotta make a call or whatever. Like you do in a conversation on the phone. If you're talking to someone on the phone, you don't just hang up. You say, hey, I gotta go. It's just politeness and courtesy and common sense and really easy. It's so easy not to be selfish and an a-hole to people. I know it's a weird way to put it, but that did really hurt me when my friend did that. And then I have people say, well, she's not really a real friend then, is she? So adding that extra selfish stress on somebody who's hurting is, I don't understand it. I honestly, I don't understand it. I try not to do that to people, but I've always been someone who, like, I remember being in a restaurant with my dad when I was a little kid, and I would see an older person sitting alone in the restaurant. I would start crying and tell my dad I feel sorry for that person. I just assumed, I mean, I was little. I just assumed this person was lonely and sad because they're eating a meal by themselves in a restaurant. I could have been right. The person could have been, yeah, I'm out on my own, eating by myself. This is awesome. I have no idea. But I always felt sad for people. I always feel for people. So to me, it comes naturally. And sometimes I have to like, okay, stop picking up people's stuff. But it comes in naturally so much that I don't understand how it's so unnatural for people. Even the basic common sense of it. If someone tells you something, you weren't aware enough to figure it out on your own, but they literally tell you, and you still just, oh, I don't, me. It hurts people. It just does. I'm just saying that. So check on people for the holidays. If you have a neighbor, you know they're alone, send them a Christmas card. I know people don't do that anymore. They only post stuff on Facebook. You know, hey, happy birthday. Hey, Merry Christmas. And that's supposed to be good enough for the people. But I still like to send cards out. And I love it when I get a card. I love it when someone writes a little note in it. I have a man in Oregon who is in his late 80s, maybe his early 90s. He will not tell me his age, but he did my yoga and he worked with him and his wife are really nice. They always send me a card and a gift for Christmas. It's so sweet. And I think he remembers my story once telling him after my dad passed away that my dad always sent me cards. We can tear it right now. And he'd always write something in them. He would put a check in them sometimes, or he would just send me cards. And when I had to tell people, make the phone call and let them know my dad passed away, the first thing out of pretty much everybody's mouth was, oh my God, I'm going to miss getting cards from your dad, because that's what he did. And so this man always sends me cards. It's very sweet, it's very touching, it's very kind. And so we send each other cards and write little notes in it. And it's just nice. And those are the things you do for people. Or send someone a thank you card. If they did something nice for you, send them a thank you card. There was a woman in Oregon who was in her 80s I trained. Or was she 90? It was close to 90. Between 80 and 90, I can't remember her age. Her and her daughters invited me to a little tea luncheon party with them. So there's about 12 of us, just girls. And they had tea and lunch. And it was the sweetest thing. It was for her birthday. And we got her, gifts and stuff. And she gave me a thank you card in the mail. And I thought, this is the coolest thing. This was maybe 7 years ago. So I have my box of thank you cards. And I like to have them to send to people. Because I think that people can call it old school, but it's very special. And I think when people get those, it just brings humanness around again. Kindness, humanness. Humanness? Is that a word? So basically, again, I keep interrupting to give you little stories, but I feel like if I share little stories, you might go, oh yeah, or maybe something I said will hit one person or the other. Because remember, I always say in my books and my talking is if whatever I do helps one person, then that one person is worth it. So me giving this video gets maybe 50 views, but one person went and did something nice for a neighbor down the street and helped that person not feel sad for the day, then making this video was worth it. So check on people. Send them a card. Send them a gift. Say hello. Do something to brighten people's day. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It doesn't even have to cost money. Yes, a card may be a card and a stamp, but come on. And if somebody ever tells you they're hurting, they're lonely, your first thought, don't make it about you. Maybe think about them. Because one, you can't catch loneliness. You can't catch grief. You can't catch death from someone who passed away from them. You can't catch what they're going through. They're not telling you they have a flu, they have COVID, they have this disease that's highly contagious. They're telling you they're lonely. They're telling you they're sad. They're telling you they don't know what's going on for the holidays. And it's stressful on them. So with me, with all these things coming up, I'm like, okay, so one of my girlfriends, her husband passed away a few years ago, right for COVID. That's her wedding anniversary. So we're going out to dinner on my stepdad's birthday, for my stepdad's birthday and her wedding anniversary. We're making sure we got each other covered for that. Those are the things people need. Those are the things that just help people, because it's just being human, having a soul, caring. It's really not that hard. You just got to do it. And it's not like her and I are going to be crying at our dinner or lunch together. We may make a little toast to whatever the thing, and then we'll just carry on our lunch. Just because somebody's lonely and they need company, it doesn't mean they're going to be crying and horrible and talking about problems the whole time. They just want company. That's it. Take a walk with your neighbor if they're lonely. Do something that's just human. Stop just texting. Stop just writing things on Facebook comments. Be a little more human, because people need it. And I have shared this every time I talk about the brain and brain care. Kindness is brain care. When somebody's hurting, when someone feels isolated, when someone feels like unworthy or worthless or they don't fit in, you know what that does to their brain? That's hard on their brain. And so a lot of people that spend a lot of their life isolated and hurting, their studies have shown they're more prone to have dementia or some kind of brain challenges when they're older. So taking the time to not be so selfish and care for another human being, you're actually helping their brain care, their blood pressure, their heart health for now, for next week, for 6 months from now, for 20 years from now. You are helping their body, mind, and soul and brain have better health care for their now and their close and further away future. That's why when I have my brain books for the kids and the one for the adults, I say kindness is brain care, not only for you, but for others. That's why people who get bullied have a really hard time. It's hard on people's brains. It's hard on people's nervous system to feel so much grief and loneliness and unkindness and then being confused. Well, why did this person do that? Because now I have a wound on top of this wound. And some people I can literally feel it in my head sometimes. I can't even tell the story of something that went down today. Something I just went, wow. And I literally felt it right here in my head. And that sucks because I'm kind to people. I think of people. All my books and pretty much every one of my videos are about helping people walk, talk, feel better, be better. My hearing book is about understand people with hearing loss. Everything I do is about helping people. So it kind of pisses me off that I don't see more people like that out there. So I hope me sharing this will encourage people to reach out. Before we go, something else. I'm always remembering things. What people don't want to hear when they come to someone they know, you talk to someone who knows you and they tell you they're lonely. When you tell them, why don't you go volunteer? Why don't you go join a group? I'm sorry, but haven't I known you for 20 years? You want me to go hang out with strangers? People don't want to hear that. And yes, I get helping people, volunteering does help people. But when you, like me, my whole thing's about helping people. So it comes a time where I can't keep being there for people. I need it to be there for me. It's the same with other people. And if somebody's grieving heavy, they just lost their husband or a child or their spouses, their wife, whatever they're going through, or like me, there's like no family right now. People don't have anything to give. They need the giving to them. They need filled back up. They need to get love and feel to help them find their peace back in the world and feeling a sense of love and belonging. And it's not that hard. That's why people just trip me out. They really do. I don't get it. Kindness, love, laugh, giggle. It's not that hard. You just do it. So, there you go. So what not to say to someone who tells you they're lonely? Number 1. Oh my God, I want to be alone too. 2. Oh my God, I never get lonely. 3. Well, if you loved yourself, you wouldn't feel that way. 4. Why don't you go volunteer? 5. Why don't you join a dating service? 6. Why don't you join a support group? I mean, it just goes on. Giving them a list of something you have to do sucks. So I'm going to give you an example of something within a TV show. I popped my head a couple times after share it. So, and it was a funny show. It's a comedy. It's Grace and Frankie, the end of it, with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, and their husbands. Both their husbands leave them because they're gay and they fell in love with each other and they want to get married. So on the first episode, it was Charlie Sheen's dad, Martin Sheen. So Martin Sheen and Jane Fonda were the husband and wife, and he's leaving her to go be with the other man, who was Lily Tomlin's husband. Okay, if you haven't watched the show, I think it's a fun show, and I work with seniors and stuff, so I just loved it all. Anyway, her daughters come over, and they're sitting with Jane Fonda, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do this. They're giving her all the things, and she's like, I can't plan right now. I'm just trying to keep my breakfast down. I'm just trying to be in that right. So that's the thing that reminds me of when people are in these. You can't abandon them, but you can't also give them a list of things they do. When people are hurting, or they're lonely, or they're suffering, or they're grieving, and they're feeling that, all that is overwhelming to their brain, their nervous system. It's a lot. So when you come in, it's like, you need to do this, you should do this. Everyone's just like, you just think. And people don't need to do, or shouldn't have to do, these major things to think they're going to fix their problem, when they just need a human moment with a human to get through some hard moments or a hard time. Or there you go. So yes, some of you guys probably heard me say this before in different ranges. And I also had a podcast with someone, this was the first podcast where I interviewed people about a year and a half ago. And we talked about grief and how people act. And some people deal with grief and loss in other people, and they treat them like they're weak. So before I end this video, if that can help anyone feel better, if you're still missing someone that passed away 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you loved people and you cared and you miss them. We miss things that used to be here. It doesn't mean you're holding on to the past. It doesn't mean you're a horrible person. It means that you love something or someone so much, a dog, a person, your spouse, a child, whatever you lost, a friend, you miss them. They played a part in your life. I know with, like I said, with my parents, I had different relationships with all of them, but I know I could pick up the phone and call my dad anytime. I lived with my mom our last couple of years, or last year and a half, but I lived near my mom and stepdad in Oregon when I was there, and also when they were here near me in Long Beach and Lakewood. And they were just always there. You can talk to them, you can call them, you can, in Oregon, I was just always, go to the house, or my stepdad would come to my house and we'd walk the dog. And, we thought we loved them all. Yeah, I lost him too. You guys probably know that. But they're just not there. When I needed something fixed or something cutesy in the house done, or a shelf, Lee would just do it. I don't have that right now. And I miss it. I miss having, you have to go pay a repair guy to do something when your stepdad used to do it for $10 from the, hardware stores. It's a big deal. But anyway, there's more to it when people are missing people. And I won't get too much into the grief part, because I've done some other videos on that. But there are a lot of really good TED Talks on grief and loss. And one said, it was really good, how the brain doesn't know what to do with it. Like he shared it like, okay, so we'll say like my stepdad. We'll say he's still alive, and yeah, and if I think of him, you have your brain kind of goes, yeah, he's at home. You kind of just have your brain knows how to place where they're at, and when they're gone, if you think of them, you don't have this, they're at home, and it doesn't know where to put their thoughts of them, and it kind of floats around. And the brain, the neuroplasticity of the brain is adjusting as well, and your nerves and your heart, and if it's somebody you called 5 times a day, or you're always like, oh my God, did you see the TV show? Oh my God, you hear what that neighbor did? You don't have that person anymore to do those things to. It's kind of like, oh, and that's what happens. People lose somebody that played a big part in their life. And when they're gone, you realize a lot of the little things that they played a part in your life, and you didn't really, you knew they were there, but you realize that there are more missing pieces than you even know. And your brain doesn't know what to do with it. And that's a big part of grief. It doesn't know where they're at. Does that make sense? Anyway, look up those TED Talks. If I remembered who did it, I would give his name, but I can't remember. I have the link saved someplace, but not that that will take away your loneliness, not that that would take away your grief, but it does help get through some of it because you don't feel like you're going loony in your brain, you're going crazy in your brain, especially when people give such one-liner comments that almost just dismiss your pain, dismiss your grief, and just knocks it over to the way. Because what do people say? People don't know how to deal with it. People don't know what to say. It just becomes about them. And then so you're grieving, you're hurting, you're lonely. And as you reach out, it's not like you get this instant, just a big hug and quietness or just something calm. You get their crazy, not that they're crazy, you get their mindset. Oh, well, maybe you should do this. It would help you move on and blah, 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 blah. And it's just, it's too much. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Be kind to people. The holidays are here and grief is harder. Loss is harder. Holidays are harder. New Year's is harder. Everything is harder this time of year. You're constantly reminded of the family you don't have, or the Christmases you used to have, or the traditions you used to share with people who aren't here anymore. Everywhere you have on TV, it's, oh, fall in love, it's Christmas. Oh, look at the big Christmas families. And a lot of people don't have that. So remember that. Be kind. Again, I will say, kindness and care to other human beings is brain care for them, their heart, and their health, for their present and their future. I don't want to be 80 years old and have a bunch of brain issues because I was lonely. And I don't wish that on anybody else either. And that could be some things people worry about. I do sometimes because I work with the brain. I studied the brain. I wrote a book on the brain. I work with stroke survivors and brain damage. And I know what can cause, some of the things that cause dementia and how the hearing and neuroplasticity in the brain. There's so many studies on this. People don't want to go down that route. So think a little deeper in life. Bring life back. Bring caring back. Bring love back. Care about somebody else. Doesn't mean you have to put yourself to the side. Join with them. Invite them over. If you have girls, a bunch of girls gather for Christmas that invite your friend that is lonely. Or if you met someone new, just be human. Care. Now, I thought this video would be like 10 minutes. It's going on 40 minutes. And yes, I always seem to ramble, but I don't mean to. I start feeling things when we're talking. And then as we're talking, I remember what this client said to me, or how heartbroken this one, or how this one was abandoned on holidays. I just remember everyone's stories and their pain. And I also remember my stories and my pain. And I don't wish anything I felt in anybody else. And the people I saw go through things, I felt so bad for them. And yeah, because I think a lot of people's loneliness and pain doesn't have to be there if other humans would have a heart. There you go. So thank you for listening to the Health and Fitness Show with Tracy, and this episode about loss, more about loneliness and being there for people. Holidays are coming. And if you want to know more about me, I'm www.tracymarkley.com. And I have 15 books. They're all on Amazon. They're on my website. Most of them are in audio, but they're all on Kindle and paperback. And yeah. And I have a podcast, The Health and Fitness Show with Tracy, this is going to be part of a podcast show that I'm making right now. And that's also available on all the podcast channels, or you can watch it on YouTube and watch the video, or you can just listen to it. So www.tracymarkley.com. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Kindness is brain care for everybody involved. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.